All right, everyone. Without a shot fired, Donald Trump has won in Panama. Yes, a big diplomatic victory, kicking Chinese influence out of Panama and getting the Panamanian government to work more closely with the United States. Now, I would go further. Again, I would say sweeten the deal. You want a third lock so that more tonnage can go through? That's perfectly fine. We can probably stomach that cost for a fraction of the cost of what we're spending on Ukraine, by the way. It would be a great idea. I think we should draw Panama more in diplomatically. I think that we should be working with Javier Milei. He seems to be the sane man of South America, and so we should be doing that. Failing that, though, the best thing that you can do is get Panama into a situation where they do exactly what they just did, which is the president just came out, El Presidente himself, and said, well, okay, we can scrap this arrangement we were going to have with the Chinese, and we're going to work more closely with you. This is exactly what we want. It's also good for the Panamanian people. The United States is in a better situation to provide for the people of Panama than China is. That's just the long and short of it. The United States is closer. We already built the goddamn canal. We've got a vested interest in it, etc., etc. It makes no sense that China, imperialistic as it is, and it is, would try to muscle into the Americas. Under the Monroe Doctrine, that's a no-go. That's not going to happen. Sorry, guys. You stay in your hemisphere. This one happens to belong to us. We're the guarantors of the hemisphere. Some people are already calling this imperialistic. It's not. It's anti-imperialistic. The whole concept of the Monroe Doctrine was to prevent imperialism from Europe in the Americas, which is amusing to me. These days, though, we don't really have to watch out for European imperialism. I mean, the French aren't on the warpath at the moment, for example. The British do not appear to be invading some small African country. These days, it comes mainly from China. They're the main imperialists in the world other than the United States. I disagree with world policing. I think it's wrong. I don't believe in warmongering. I don't believe in any of that bullshit because, quite clearly, it doesn't work, number one. And number two, even if it did work, it's unethical. But China doesn't have that kind of holdback, as it were. China has been imperialistic now for several decades. They've been trying to colonize other countries. You've even got anti-China parties in East Africa right now that only exist simply because China moved in and started building things and taking all of their resources. This has happened several times, actually, in East Africa. And so I would say safeguarding our own hemisphere at the very least, and NATO in general, is probably a good idea. So I agree with Trump's Panama Canal expansion plans. I believe that there will be an expansion. I think that it'll be a thing of prestige more than anything else. I have a feeling what he's going to do, he's going to talk to the Panamanian president. Okay, you've kicked out the Chinese influence, and you want to work more closely with us. Let's build a third lock. Much bigger than the other two. We'll call it the Trump lock, by the way. This is probably what he will do. And we maintain this zone. We will guarantee your safety. We will build a military base, and you leave it alone. The Canal Zone, generally speaking, will be jointly administered, which was the agreement, again, to begin with anyway. And we'll go back to that. And you'll get a shit ton of money. And you'll have more tonnage going through. Everyone wins. You get a shit ton of money. We save a shit ton of money. What's the drawback of this? Okay, you're ceding semi-sovereignty over a small area of land which we developed in the first place. Other than that, you're suffering no detriment. Your country will double its GDP. We will probably increase our GDP, and we'll save a shit ton of money, which is something that we could probably use after 4 years of Bidenomics. Everyone wins. Nobody loses. It's literally, it's a scenario in which nobody can lose, effectively. I believe that that is what should be done. The first step has already been made, which is that the Panamanians, wisely, by the way, decided to back aside and say, okay, well, the U.S. is going to assert hegemony within this region. Maybe we want to be more respectful. But now we need to sweeten the deal. We have a responsibility towards the Panamanians as well. Be like, hey, we're going to show some largesse in a big way. Because it will cost pennies on the goddamn dollar. And in the process, we're going to save hundreds of billions of dollars. That's probably a good thing right now. I think that's what we should do. I don't believe in screwing the Panamanian people at all. I have no problem. No Panamanian ever fucked me in the ass. But you do happen to have a canal that we built, and your El Presidente was trying to use it as leverage. That leverage now has been moved to the side. I hate to tell you this, but that's no longer a bargaining tool, because Trump's like, no, I'll airdrop a couple platoons of Marines in there, and everything will be over in a single day. And that's probably how it would work. I wouldn't support such a move. But if Donald Trump can diplomatically return the canal to at least joint U.S. control, I do believe in that, so that we can repair it, because right now it has, apparently it has technical issues. We can repair it, we can expand it, we can maintain it, we can guard it. It's possible for the U.S. to do this, and it's in our self-interest. It's also in the self-interest of the Panamanian people. It just makes sense. On both ends, the entire arrangement simply works. That's about all. Peace out.